Hi, welcome to this video. We're going to talk about Jira project basics. It's the second video in our series about project management made easy with Jira. So this particular video, the aim of it is to give you enough knowledge to go and get started with your own Jira project and to understand some of the key benefits you're going to get from that. The structure of the demo, I'm going to show you how to create a new Agile project, how to create a new Jira ticket, some of the standard fields that you're going to see, and why you might want to use some custom fields, estimation methods in Jira, and some of the metrics you can get from your project. So we're going to talk about creating an Agile project first. First thing I want to say is that this is the software as a service Jira Cloud version. So you can go to the Atlassian website and create your own instance of this online within 10 minutes. There's no need to install any software. You don't need that kind of hosting knowledge. It's just an off-the-shelf application. And we're going to create a project. So a classic project. I'm going to call this a sample project. I just want to show you the different template options that you have. So as a standard software project, you have the sort of well-known in Agile kind of circles types of projects of Kanban and Scrum, and you have like a defect management project as well. As well as those standard software projects, you also have business templates for teams that may be outside of traditional IT teams, so things like recruitment, procurement, sales, document approvals, etc. So all kinds of different templates that you can use to get started. For this demo, I'm going to choose Scrum and create. And there we go. That is our project created. So hopefully you've seen there there's a lot of built-in templates for different types of teams that you can use. The benefit of that potentially is having everything in one place, giving you one version of the truth in one place, and it's quick and simple to do. We did that in a few minutes. So the next section we're going to talk about creating a ticket. So again, we'll just start off exactly where we left with our new sample project. I'm going to click create here, and I am going to choose a epic. So an epic, for people who are not familiar with the term, is just a larger piece of work that may be across multiple sprints or across multiple teams. You generally give it a short name. That's easily identifiable, so I'm going to give it a short epic name, and then you might have a longer name, which is the standard summary of the ticket. A description where you put the details in. We can upload attachments, evidence, etc. At this point. We can link it to other issues. We can link it to software release versions. We can do basic task tracking, so I can assign this to an individual. We can prioritize and add labels, etc. So these are the standard out-of-the-box Jira fields. So I'm going to create that epic now. I'm getting a notification that that's been created. So I'm going to go to this left-hand menu here, which is my project menu, and look at my backlog. And then I'm going to select the epics panel. So in here you can see the epic that we've just created. And then I've got an inline option here for creating tickets that belong to that epic, so I can create stories, tasks and bugs, etc. So I'm going to create here a couple of stories inline. As part of that epic. And that is basically all for the standard Jira fields. I'll just show you a more advanced example for a more customized set of screens. So this is our RAID project, which we're going to come to in a further demo. So this has got things like risk categories, so we can, this is a customized list that we set up that we can choose from. We've got a date field here, risk impact date, which is a custom field, mitigation action plan, etc. So this is a more complex, more customized example. Okay. So hopefully you can see there, assigning and tracking work is pretty simple, just out of the box. You can capture what data you need with custom fields if the standard screen is not enough to meet your requirements. So now we're going to cover estimation. Before I do that, I'll just quickly explain this this backlog view. So you can see here that this is the story issue type. These are the summary of the stories. This is the linked epic. This is the Jira issue key, which is a unique identifier for each ticket. This is an icon that represents the priority, and at the end we've got the estimation, which is currently blank. So if I click on one of these stories now in line, I'll get the details appear here, and I can give it story points, which is the default estimation method for Scrum projects. So I'm going to give the first story 8 points. I'm going to click on the second story and give it 5 points. So simple as that to add story points to our issues. I'm going to show you quickly that you don't have to use that method if it's a more traditional project or you've got other ways of estimating how long tasks take. You can go to your board configuration. So I've clicked back on my Scrum board, click on the settings, and I can go to estimation here, and I can use original time estimate, and can use previous score, any kind of number value that you've got in the system, or you can just use the count, the number of tickets as a count. Original time estimate, of course, that is your X amount of man hours, man days, etc., which is more traditional project management, but I'm going to put it back to story points for now. And then we're going to go back to our backlog, and I'm going to show you how to create a sprint. Click on the create sprint button, and now we've got our sprints up there, and we can drag tasks from the backlog into our sprint. So this is the kind of thing you do in a sprint planning session. And then there's just a button here to start the sprint. You've got inbuilt durations, so you can pick, your standard 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks, or you can set a custom duration for your sprint. So we will just kick that off with the standard 2 weeks, and now we've got an active sprint. So benefits of that, hopefully you saw there that we could support agile and traditional estimation methods. Also, that's on a project level, so we could have a hybrid approach where we've got some teams that are working agile Scrum using points, and we've got some that are using traditional hours, minutes, days, etc., and they can coexist in the same Jira instance. Now we're going to talk a little bit about metrics. So the first thing I want to show you is the roadmap view. So again, on this left hand menu, I've clicked on roadmap, and this allows me to give a start and end date to my epic. So I just click on that. I can move this here. I'm just going to create a new epic as well, just to show that. Give it a nice new colour just to distinguish it. And again, so I can have a nice Gantt style view here. I can also create dependencies. So that's created a dependency between my first and my second epic. And if I drag it there, you can notice it's gone red now because the start finish dependency is not being maintained. So I can drag that back now. It goes back to grey. Sorry. So that shows you how you can get a nice simple Gantt style view that allows you to extend on top of your agile software delivery. So now I'm going to go again to the left hand menu. I'm going to go to reports. So we can see here there's lots and lots of inbuilt reports that you get on a project level. These are all based on the underlying data in your project, so there's no additional configuration to do outside of using the project, and that's going to build these charts. So I'll show you the burn down chart for this project. It's not going to be that interesting obviously because we've just started, so the amount of data in there is minimal. But you can see here we've got 8 plus 5, which is 13 story points, and this gives us an idea of the kind of burn down, the number of points we have to be completing in order to achieve completing all our work before the sprint ends. So I'll go back to some I prepared earlier just because they have more data to clearly show you more about these metrics. So this is the burn down chart with some more data in there. The blue line is your guideline. That's kind of how much work you need to have done to be on track at any point. And you can see here's an orange line which shows the actual number of points that are ready at each point in the sprint. So we can see in this example we're pretty much been on track the whole time, below the guideline, so it's all looking good. If you were above the guideline, you're halfway through your sprint, you still haven't completed enough tickets, that'd be when you want to step in as a project manager to try and understand what's happening. Epic burn down report, which is another one of those inbuilt reports that you get. So the epic, as we discussed, a key piece of functionality. They're not tied to a single team, and this can show you how much work is getting completed on your sprint over time, and also how much scope creep you're getting. So, for example, in sprint 9 in this example, 3 points have been completed in the epic, but 4 points have been added. So that's something to keep an eye on. If you're adding more scope than you're completing, that indicates that there's an issue somewhere in the planning process. Velocity chart. So this builds up over time as sprints are completed. There's some couple of useful ways you can look at this. So it can give you sort of a relative measure of how many points a team can complete. So you can see over time sort of an average of how much work you can give a team in a certain period of time and expect them to complete it. And it also kind of highlights any inaccuracies in your estimation process. If you're thinking that you can complete 40 points but you're consistently doing 20, that kind of thing will jump out at you straight away on the velocity chart. So benefits of those metrics. So you can use roadmaps to keep your stakeholders informed. The metrics are built into Jira. They're generated by default. They're shared in that anyone can get on there, click on it themselves and have a look. It's real time. It's based on the actual underlying data that's updated by people anywhere, and they're interactive. So you can click on those charts and see the actual issues and the data that underlies them. So hopefully that was useful. See you on the next video. Thank you.